Hey, before the video starts, like and subscribe for my content. Thanks. Alright, thank you. Welcome back, boils and ghouls, to this dark, dank corner of the internet. With me, your host, your boy. And today we're talking about power-armored warriors. Strong, powerful beings who have a suit of armor that grants them various abilities and skills that would make them equal sometimes to a god, a devil, and beyond. One of these power-armored warriors that we're talking about today is the Cybernetics Guardian, the god of a city, a legend, the holy beast himself. Now, the story of Cybernetics Guardian begins with a city known as Cyberwood, where a young scientist doctor named Layla is testing out a new type of material called Astanite. Now, Astanite has the ability to turn mental waves into power, using people's thoughts turning into pure energy. Now, she uses it to test this new mecha suit used for security with her boyfriend, John Stalker, and their friend slash rival production ally, Adler. The testing of the suit goes wrong due to Adler's meddling, and John goes to the hospital with injuries. But before that, he awakens some kind of weird, mysterious ability that allows him to survive in the accident of the suit. See, while the suit was on fire, this weird shape appeared on his forehead. Because of this, later on in the hospital, John gets abducted by a cult of Daldo, located within the center of the city, the slums of the city, known as Cancer. The cult then merges John with a unique cybernetic suit organism known as the Armor of Saldo. Now John is a giant mechanical overbeast, the holy beast himself, the Cybernetics Guardian. Now what awaits John? Will he be a god, a devil, or something more? And what of Layla? And what of Adler? Find out by watching the OVA. Now what can John Stalker, the Cybernetics Guardian, do? Well, in his human form, he has the ability to call upon the armor, and it bursts out of his skin at will. He also can survive gunshots to the head and regenerate from them like it was nothing. The bullets will literally just come out of his head and regenerate the skin, flesh, bone, and muscle all together by itself. Now, John Stalker can also survive multiple blows from a car, being run over, and crushed by a car before he transforms the Cybernetics Guardian and surviving it. Possibly due to the suit of armor now being inside of him literally. Now John Stalker in his Cybernetics Guardian form is literally a force of nature. He is the strongest thing in that city. He goes through concrete like the Kool-Aid Man goes through styrofoam walls, as in no restrictions whatsoever. People fight against him and John Stalker just rips through them like a grown man through paper mache. Now, he is very bulletproof because the police tried to mow him down with heavy weapons fire, and they couldn't do it. They just had him, tank everything to the face like it's nothing. And then he went to kill all the policemen due to him rampaging around the city. Now, the policemen didn't stand a chance. They were all cut to shreds. Every single one of them. Street pizza, road paste, wall paste, you name it. With his incredible agility and skill, he cut through the entire police force that went after him. Afterward, they dropped napalm on him, military grade napalm, and literally burned part of the city to the ground. Now, in that raging inferno, John Stalker, the Cybernetics Guardian, got pissed off and used his own willpower and possibly psionic energy due to him being made of full Astanite to manipulate the fire and heat and send it back to the helicopter that bombed him with a flaming tornado, and it instantly vaporized the helicopter, who was in the air several hundred feet away from John during that point. Now, John Stalker can literally go up buildings like it's no problem and jump around like it's Hulk Ultimate Destruction, and he's agile enough to dodge like some stuff, even like projectiles, but he doesn't due to the fact that he can just tank everything and then no lasting damage happens to him at all. Now, mind you, John Stalker is doing all of this out of his mind. See, during this time, he actually hasn't gained consciousness. He's going mostly on destructive instinct and orders from the Daldo Church. Now, during this time, he only has the base level of using the actual true Cybernetic Guardian skills. See, he's actually been using the negative, corrupted version of the armor this entire time. See, when John was a child, he was given the seed of evil, which was basically like he experienced a lot of bad stuff in his childhood during his time in the slums known as cancer. Now, this actually prepped him to become a suitable host for the Cybernetics Guardian. And the problem is that during that time when he's berserking in the armor in his corrupted form, he's actually weaker than what he would be if he fully had control of it. It's literally stated and seen in the OVA later on when John finally gains consciousness with the help of Layla that he no longer feels the negative emotions that power the armor, and it made him weaker. So much so that he's actually getting his butt beat by, surprise surprise, the last villain of the film, Adler, who is in a mecha suit of his own, the Genocyber. No, not that Genocyber. Get your mind out of the gutter. Later on, when John Stalker learns how to use the armor to its full capability by literally taking in the psionic power of the Astonite and using also his own true willpower, he's able to access the full armor's capabilities. The armor goes from a black with white hair to a blue with orange hair. Now, in the purified form, John Stalker now has access to everything else the armor can do. It has the ability to create a battle axe from its back, which can cut through metal with ease. It also has the ability to chomp down on several objects using the face shoulders that the armor has. Now, in the final moments of the OVA, John gains an ability and access to one of the most powerful abilities and more useful abilities that the armor has, jet boosters. Now, when falling down the building in the end, spoiler alert, John activates said jet boosters to save Layla and kill Adler. The jet boosters literally come out from his shoulders and start, boosting around, flying around. Now, mind you, they are falling from a gigantic skyscraper in the end, and it's literally reaching, or has reached, terminal velocity, him and his opponent, and the Layla. And not the skyscraper, like all three of them are falling down. And John, seemingly using the boosters, boosts way past Adler when they almost hit the ground, cuts clean through him with the axe, by the way, with no resistance whatsoever, then grabs Layla and boosts all the way back up the skyscraper before everything gets splatted to the ground. He's moving around like Mach speeds there. Also, earlier, he tanks electrical attacks from Adler, who basically is able to kill the cyber policeman, using his own weird armor with drills and stuff like that, no problem. So it's assumed that he's literally as strong as John Stalker in the Cybernetics Guardian armor, but in his corrupted form, not the purified version of the armor. Also, John has the ability to reflect energy projectiles back with his axe when he does to Adler in his little energy ball thingy. Now, at the end of the OVA, spoiler alert again, him and Layla, set off to be free, to be together with each other. Now, when we see John Stalker later on, he is actually outside of the armor, most likely due to the fact that he can actually call back the armor back inside of himself. And he is all relaxed and nice in this time, and it's never continued again. And John Stalker is still one of the most strongest things in that OVA. Heck, they even allude to 2 more holy beast gods and armors just like John Stalker later on, but we never get to see anything after that due to the fact that the OVA only had 1 episode. Well, that about does my review of John Stalker, the Cybernetics Guardian. A very interesting, powerful character. Not as powerful as other anime characters to begin with, of course, but as armored heroes go, power armored warriors, he's pretty cool. His design is wicked though, literally a lion slash gargoyle motif, you know, with a flowing awesome mane. Oh, by the way, his freaking shoulder pads, I think they actually roar too, because whenever you hear like some of the roars in the OVA, that's not just coming from his mouth. I think that's also coming from his shoulder pads, because they also have faces and mouths. Well, thank you very much for watching, guys, for listening. Like and subscribe for my content, and I'll see you next time. Ciao, and happy Halloween.